Hey, this is Marc at JazzStack. Another status update from yours truly. You've been taking a course career class for the past 3 weeks or so, not affiliated, but so far great progress. I've taken the HTML crash course and the introduction, let me zoom in, introduction to JavaScript, some practice questions, mini project, one I want to share with you, which is a rock, paper, scissors variation that I came up with from the Squid Games Netflix TV show, which is awesome. Object-oriented features, which was nice. JavaScript is not a object-oriented programming language, but it has some features for creating classes and inheritance, which I had done in Java about 20 years ago, so I'm still familiar with that. Next section is React, which I'm really excited to start. However, there are 20 JavaScript practice questions that they're provided, 5 easy, 5 medium, 5 hard, so that's really the next step for me. And previously, whoops, went too big here. Previously I'd done CS50, and I shared that in the previous log videos. But with CS50, I'm due the final project, which will be this Chrome extension that has basically nothing in it. I wanted to be more well versed into JavaScript first. So it's been about 3 weeks on course careers, about 44% complete on the first leg, and then I will choose a specialization. So I'm assuming that between now and the end of the year, now it's June, late June, so I'll be finished and probably competent, enough to get side gigs and start to code APIs for people on the side, etc. So let me run you through my -1 game, which is rock paper scissors -1s from Squid Games season 2, which is a bit gloomy because the loser dies in the series. Don't worry, you're not going to die. So I'm going to zoom in. So here's the game. The objective of the game is to wind up with a rock, paper, scissors result, but with 2 hands. So player starts and selects, say, rock. Let's go, let's play first, sorry. And then go rock. And then I'm going to choose paper. Then we see the computer's hand, we see the opponents, and then we have to decide which one do we want to take out. So if I keep rock, I may beat scissors, but I may be beaten by paper. And if I keep paper, I may tie with paper, but lose with scissors. So I'm going to choose to keep rock. So I'm Xing out this one. And then rock beats scissors, you win. So this is the one I picked, and computer also picked one at random. Let me do another, say, reset. Let's play. So I pay scissor, paper, and I'm going to choose to remove paper, and now scissor, rock. So rock beats scissor, computer wins. I did not implement any scoreboard, so it's only a 1 round. There's no timer. What I would have loved is to do this, do that, right? Let's play, and then go like, okay, 3, 2, 1, -1, so you have less time to think. And even to implement a little drop down to adjust difficulty level, I did not, because this is all plain vanilla JavaScript, and I want to show on the screen. Again, this sort of log is as much for me as it is for people, because my first video got a whopping 65 views. So this is pretty insane, but I'm super glad of doing it that way, because I did all of the HTML myself for this. And then I needed a hand with ChatGPT for the styles in terms of getting a font and making sure I have the different kinds of buttons, like when they lock, right? This one displays when they lock and they unlock, and it's not perfect, because I think there are features where I think I could click and then change the outcome after the game, so it's really not perfect. But I'm super glad to have done this, what I wanted to see, and I'm glad also to have all of the logic. Now, bear in mind, I coded all of this, or virtually like 99% of this. There's just a functionality to determine who the winner was that I used AI for, but also what I found out through AI is what I want to run on the screen now. And I'll show you, like, it's a pretty long code because it's been done with helper functions. So you can see this here. It's pretty intense, about 250 lines of codes. What I learned, we have global variables, right? They're initiated when we load the page. Then we have some of the utility functions, the helpers. So reset button states, the reset game, and yeah, that's the only one that's there. So what I learned is really the organization of all these functions, right? One thing I really thoroughly enjoy is knowing that we can do a query selector helper function. So you type QS instead of document.query selector all, or QSA or QS, like this is Perfect. So just being able to extract that logic, because I had long lines of code, I'm pretty stoked about this. So the fact that it's organized like this, uh, what else did I want to show you? Reset game is obvious. It resets all the states of the button and the global variables. Um, function law, hold on. Well, what I thoroughly enjoy is that all of the event listeners are at the bottom, actually. So here we have uh, event listeners that are conditional, which I went like, okay, if you hit reset and you pick this, like you can't pick this until you hit let's play, okay? And then if you pick paper, then those two are disabled, and then computer doesn't show his hand yet, and then I pick, then the computer shows his hand, and those are displaying, they're hidden. I used to hit X, and the one I chose had a checkbox, but I decided that the green was enough, right? So all these things for the when to listen, especially conditional listening. For instance, if the buttons are inactive, you don't listen for it, right? All that logic is just amazing. I'm like super happy. So all the event listeners are at the bottom, and thinking about it, I could even maybe have used a helper function for add event listener because we're repeated so much, or maybe not. See, I'm thinking out loud. But here, I can call upon the helper functions I've created previously. The winning logic is pretty easy, but what was harder is like the first round of selection. Like I could easily do a rock, paper, scissors in one go. Oh, sorry. Again, meta glasses acting out. Um, the regular rock, paper, scissors game is easy, but the whole like pick, fade out the choices, then get the computer to pick, randomize which one he's going to pick, computer, and then determine the winner at the end. It's like this extra set of steps is really what all those helper functions are about, which I'm, again, really stoked about. It is simple, not always immediately obvious, and then it's all plain vanilla styling, plain vanilla JS and HTML. So perhaps what I'll be doing with the software development class here is do my practice questions, especially the medium hard and very hard questions, and then learn React. So I may create a version of this in React and or other frameworks that I learned. When I took CS50, we did the Flask application. So we had Flask, we have SQL on the back end, two databases, one for the username, password, one for the stocks, right? And we queried the live stocks at times, and it was Python, like right, the Flask Jinja logic was all Python, so it was easy to call routes. So this is a different way of doing it. Now this is like, I think the most plain vanilla way. So I was thinking of adding a bunch of features, but then I saw diminishing returns and it doesn't look that good. It's not that awesome. So I'm just gonna wait it out to maybe create rock, paper, scissors -1 version 2 down the line. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Again, can't highly recommend enough Course Careers and CS50. Okay, talk to you soon. Take care.